All right, Nike, one of the biggest, absolute biggest names in footwear in history, maybe, is not doing so hot. And that's exactly why I think you guys should start shopping them a little bit more. Howdy y'all, I hope you guys are all doing well, I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are healthy. My name is Josh, and I absolutely love clothing and personal style, so if you're into that type of content, feel free to subscribe to me here on YouTube, as well as follow me on Instagram at @wears_Galdo. So today we're talking about Nike. Now, I don't usually talk about sneakers all that often. I used to be a huge sneakerhead, used to be really into sneaker culture, but I've moved on to different things, and in the past, I would say about 5 years, sneakers have definitely, well, I guess Nike as a particular company has lost a lot of steam in terms of popularity, and that is kind of evident in a lot of different factors. One factor of like that decline that I'm seeing is that I'm seeing a lot less Nike sneakers in the different social medias that I exist in and I kind of browse. I'm seeing Nike sneakers, and I like Nike sneakers, I like the look of them, but I've just seen less of them. A lot of people are gravitating towards different entirely and going towards just different types of footwear, like more formal footwear like I have done, or they're just going to different sneaker brands to try and find something to freshen up what they wear. And I know a pretty big chunk of what Nike did in terms of marketing is reproduce a lot of its classic sneakers, and that was kind of one of the biggest selling points for Nike in the fashion realm, was going ahead and retroing a lot of sneakers that released in like the 80s, 90s, and so on. But I mean, it worked for a little bit because you see nothing but dunks every time I walk out of my apartment. I see nothing but dunks on just literally everybody, and I used to absolutely love dunks, but I do think that they're wildly oversaturated. But also in the business aspect. Now, I'm not claiming to be a businessman, or I'm not claiming to know anything about stocks or stock trends at all, but there definitely has been some evidence that Nike has been in the decline as of recent years. Just July of 2024, Nike's stock just plummeted $20 over like what seemingly looked like overnight. And if you look at it a little bit more on like, you zoom out a little bit and you look at the past, say, 5 years, there was a gigantic drop. At its highest point, Nike stock was about $177 as of like November in 2021. Now, that's really, really good. But over the course of 2021 up until now, and now the stock has absolutely plummeted, getting as low as $72. That's over $100 decrease in stock value, which, I mean, that says something. At least I think so. I don't know. I'm a fashion guy, not a business guy. But why am I saying all this? Why am I telling you guys all this? I think that because Nike is at its kind of all-time low in terms of popularity, this is the moment where you can actually get Nike product for a lot cheaper. I recently went to a Nike outlet just to check out what they had, and I ended up leaving with three sneakers that ended up being a really, really good deal that I'll show you guys in this video today. Nike has always been present in fashion, specifically within streetwear, for a really, really long time. Like ever since it gained really like a lot of popularity in the 80s, and has stayed extremely prevalent up until now. So being wildly popular in streetwear, they then started to collaborate and creep upwards into the luxury space. And now you see a lot of collaborations like Dior, Louis Vuitton, Fear of God, Comme des Garçons, Undercover, Sacai, Supreme, Jacquemus, which is a little bit of a spoiler for what I'm going to be showing you guys in a little bit. Now that I actually say it out loud, I'm actually really impressed and surprised by the amount of collaborators that they have chosen to kind of edge their way into a different niche. Going back to me visiting the Nike outlet store, I think we have three Nike outlets in Las Vegas, and in the past year I've been to the Nike outlet maybe twice. I have definitely been pretty hesitant on going to Nike just because I don't think that I'll ever find anything that I enjoy, because I don't wear sneakers very often. But every time I go, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised that these are here. But not only that, I'm surprised that they're at such significant of a discount. So this is one that I probably showed on the channel before, the Nike Peace -1 GDragon collaboration sneaker. I don't really know too many details about it, and I'm not much of a K-pop guy at all, but I did buy these at the Nike outlet, and they were discounted to about, I think, $100 or $80 when I got them, and they've been just a really solid sneaker for 80 bucks, 100 bucks maybe. And so really happy that I bought these at the Nike outlet, and being a collaboration with a pretty big name within the music industry, especially of Korea, I was like, oh, I'm surprised that these ended up at the outlet. Another shoe, this one right here, the Nike Vomero 5. This shoe I know to be super comfortable. A lot of my coworkers love this shoe, and where it lasts forever. They look really good beat up. I was really intrigued by this shoe. And I mean, this shoe honestly came on my radar a couple of, did I say radar? Well, it came onto my radar years ago because of a Cold Walls collaboration with Nike on the Vomero 5. I think those look really cool, but this is going to be the regular general release Vomero. These, I mean, the camera's kind of picking it up as like pretty vibrant orange, but in person it definitely looks more like a rust orange, which I really like that color. And honestly, I don't intend to wear this like casually. This is going to be a work shoe. So that's another ulterior motive to go to the Nike outlet, is if you need like comfortable running or work shoes, go to the Nike outlet, cop one of these. This was, I think, anywhere from like 70 to 80 bucks, I think. But again, a really good work shoe for me, a really solid shoe all around for about $70 to $80. I'm really excited about this pair. I know this is like kind of outside of the color palette that I usually wear, since I usually wear mostly like earth tones or black, grayscale, anything along those lines. But this shoe caught my eye and I was like, this is kind of a beautiful color. All right, so the next shoe I'm gonna show you is gonna be this one right here, triple black, Nike Kokini. I've wanted this shoe for a minute now. I saw somebody wear it with a tech wear fit, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Like, just the silhouette of this shoe itself, really like simple, looks like an Air Max. It is completely laceless, and then this top area with this really interesting kind of spider web, Y2K looking shoe. I really love this shoe. It looks so cool. I got it in a half size bigger than my typical size because it's laceless and very like form-fitting. Yeah, this, I don't know, there's not much to say about it. It's an all black shoe. It gives kind of like a pseudo-futuristic vibe. I think it will fit very well in like kind of like a more techie, techwear inspired outfit. And it's just so cool. And the best part is they retailed for like $150, I think. And I was like, oh man, I might pull the trigger because this shoe just looks so interesting, but it is still all black and a little bit understated. So it's one of those things where you have to kind of take a close look and then you'll see a pretty interesting shoe. But I went ahead, waited, found these at the outlet for $60. $60 is like less than buying like a brand new pair of like Chuck 70s, but you get a much more comfortable, more, I guess, interesting silhouette of shoe. Really stoked to come across these in the color that I wanted. So sometimes, especially when it comes to Nike shoes, if it's a general release, maybe hold off, it might go on sale. These I'm so happy to have for $60. Last but not least, very much not least, this is probably the most interesting pickup in this video, is going to be this shoe right here. This is one of the luxury collaborations that I was talking about earlier. This is the Jacquemus J Force 1. I'm not sure, but this is an Air Force 1, and you can kind of see that the shape of it is a little strange, but that's because the sole is extremely thin. This like arching shape is happening because there's a shoe tree in it. So if I take that out, it is much more of like a regular looking shoe at this angle. And what really kind of got me on these is that they're a luxury collaboration that originally retailed for, I think, $170. They are also extremely lightweight. This leather upper is super thin, not padded really at all. The sole of it is really thin. You can see that little detail of these what looked like laces kind of interlacing between the sole and the top. The laces are actually visible from the bottom here. And it looks like the laces are like holding the upper to the sole, which I thought was super fascinating. We got a little silver Nike logo right over here. This is just a truly redone Air Force One, and I love the idea of taking a classic, making it in Jacques Mousse's own image, and this is just such a cool sneaker. And one thing, when I first saw these like articles of these coming out way long ago, these were just a women's only release. But when I went to the outlet, thankfully, they had like really large sizes for the women's sizes on these. And so this is a like women's, let's see, hold on. This is a women's 10. And so like a men's like 8.5-ish to 9, but these fit me absolutely perfectly. They are such low profile shoes, but they also still have that classic Air Force One paneling, super thin, super lightweight, really excited. And this was also $60. So it was 60 or 70, something like that. But that's like $100 off on a designer collaboration pair of shoes, which is kind of crazy. I would have never pulled the trigger on these if it weren't for that discount, which is why I'm kind of urging you guys to maybe check out the Nike outlet. You might find something cool. I definitely found a pair of, I didn't take a picture of it or anything, but undercover Nike collaboration shoes, which I thought was super cool. But they did not fit me, unfortunately, so I didn't grab them. Those were just about all my pickups from the Nike outlets. So if you are a fan of Nike shoes or just interested in trying to find something a little bit different from a relatively reputable brand, I would say definitely check out Nike's other releases that aren't hype. Now that's the caveat, that's the catch, that aren't hype. Even though Nike is pretty like unpopular in terms of the current fashion meta, the hype shoes are still outrageously priced high, which is kind of hard to deal with sometimes if you're a sneakerhead. But like anything with Travis Scott's name on it, anything like the Dior ones are insanely limited, so they're super expensive. You're not gonna find Grail level sneakers at these outlets, but you'll definitely come across something that would be useful in like, I don't know, like I think that they have some pretty great sneakers at the outlet if you're open to both looking hard for the collaboration pairs or being open to the general release pairs. Now, I did see a fair few bit of Jordans that existed at the Nike outlet at discounted prices, but they were colorways that kind of failed at retail. I wouldn't say, if you're looking for Jordan retros, maybe not the greatest to find them at the outlets. Sometimes they'll get a solid shipment of like current release Jordan retro sneakers. If you like Nike or interested into getting Nike sneakers, try to look up some right now, because as their popularity is at a low, totally worth it for you to check out and see if you can get a good deal on some things. Like there's one that looked like a Jound Asics Gel Cayano 14 that I was like, I mean, they're not the same thing, but they look pretty similar. And like, if you didn't want to pay the Jound collaboration price of that Asics sneaker, you could just get this Nike one, which looks just as good, and it's on sale. So, in a nutshell, if you're willing to put a little bit of effort going to the outlet and searching through the various open box shoes, you might find something that you actually would be pretty excited to add to your wardrobe. And I'm all about sharing underrated things on my channel, or things that might add to your guys' style too. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your guys' time. What do you guys think of Nike? That's a big question that I wanted to kind of pose here. Is Nike dead? Is Nike something that will come back eventually? Which I very much think that is the case. Do you still wear Nike sneakers? Are you still wearing Jordan 1s? Are you still wearing Jordan retros? Put it down in the comments below or DM to me on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.